Alright guys, welcome back to another travel vlog, this time from Washington DC in the United States. In this video I will show you the most important things to see here. It's absolutely amazing, we love it. It's definitely lots of walking all around. The weather is okay now, it's not raining, it's like a little bit cloudy, so we are not sweating. In these travels we already did a New York City trip, which I will drop the links in the description, so don't forget to check this out. We also went to Philadelphia and we are actually flying to Miami. If you have any questions, just comment below, I will try to answer that. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe, hit a thumbs up and have fun watching. We were coming to DC, I guess it was late afternoon, early evening, and we were staying at Motto by Hilton. It's in Chinatown, which was the location we thought it's going to be okay to walk around. We had the car and we parked our car in the garage just across the street in the mall. The price was okay, the hotel was clean, security was good, the rooms were small but it was okay. And we decided to grab some thing to eat. We really needed something fresh, some veggie, as the food in US what we ate so far was really nasty. We found this spot called Klara, which I feel like it's a chain. It's something new, or I never heard about it before, and it was very yummy. Chinatown felt pretty good. Even there were lots of homeless people in front of the hotel. We felt there okay compared to Philadelphia. We started our morning pretty good. The sun was coming out and it's crazy how you can see all around lots of museums, galleries, and we were searching some spot actually to get breakfast first because we were starving, and we were just walking a few blocks and we found Starbucks. I feel like we were happy to find something what we know, because I feel like we had always problem to find some decent spot for breakfast. It was either so nasty or then it's just unnecessarily expensive for breakfast. Did you find something?
Yeah. We're gonna go to the wharf.
Where?
To the wharf.
Okay.
Afterwards, we're gonna go to Georgetown and to the viewpoint.
We actually never went to these places, but right now we are heading to the White House, which was just nearby, maybe 10 minutes a walk. It was actually a pretty big area, and there was lots of security around, and it was guarded, it was closed, so we had to stroll around the streets and find where we can actually see the White House. As you might see, we found a spot already with lots of tourists taking pictures of the house. I must say I found it smaller as I imagined to be, but you know, I think it's usually like that. The White House is the official residence and workplace of the President of the United States, and has been the residence of every US president since John Adams in 1800, when national capital was moved from Philadelphia to Washington DC. The term White House is often used as synonym for the president and his advisors. Basically, next to the White House you can find the Renwick Gallery, and this is a branch of the Smithsonian American Art Museum located in DC that displays American craft and decorative arts from the 19th through 21st century. Right by the gallery you can see this amazing, very big building, which is Eisenhower Executive Office. This building was originally built for the State, War and Navy departments between 1871 and 1888. The Eisenhower Executive Office building now houses a majority of offices for the White House staff. This building is Corcoran School of the Arts and Design. This school is offering an array of degrees and exhibitions by students and visiting artists. The next building is non-profit organization, the American Red Cross National Headquarters. The building was built between 1915 and 1917, and it serves both as a memorial to women who served in the American Civil War and as the headquarters building for the American Red Cross. It was declared a National Historic Landmark in 1965. The next, you can see the Organization of American States. It is the premier regional forum for political discussions, policy analysis, and decisions making in Western Hemisphere affairs. The OAS brings together the leaders from nations across the Americas to address issues and opportunities. I bet everyone will recognize our next stop, which is Washington Monument. It is an obelisk on the National Mall in Washington, D.C., and it was built to commemorate George Washington, a founder father of the United States and the first president of the United States from 1789 to 1797.
Wow, holy cow, you see that airplane starting?
Standing east of the reflecting pool and the Lincoln Memorial, the monument made of marble, granite and bluestone gneiss is both the world's tallest perimeter stone structure and the world's tallest obelisk, standing 554 feet, which is almost 170 meters tall. It is the tallest monumental column in the world if all are measured above the pedestrian entrances. It was the world's tallest structure between 1884 and 1889, after which it was overtaken by the Eiffel Tower. Previously, the tallest structure was the Cologne Cathedral. I would recommend that you get yourself tickets and you go to see inside of the monument and the Washington from up there. We didn't get to do that. I feel like the tickets were sold out, so I feel like the best to do is book your tickets already online ahead. The iconic outdoor World War II memorial is honoring the 16 million Americans who served during World War II. Through stone architecture and bronze sculptures, the memorial recognizes the ways Americans served, honors those who fell, and recognizes the victory they achieved to restore freedom and end tyranny around the globe. Our next stop is the Lincoln Memorial, which I bet you might already also know. It is the national memorial that honors the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln. An example of neoclassicism, it is in the form of classical temple and is located at the western of the National Mall in Washington, D.C. The memorial was built between years 1914 and 1922 by architect Henry Bacon and Daniel Chester French. It has been a major tourist attraction since its opening and over the years has occasionally been used as a symbolic center focused on race relations and civil rights. Doric-style columns line the temple exterior and the inscriptions inside include two well-known speeches by Lincoln. The memorial has been the site of many famous speeches including Martin Luther King, I Have a Dream. Below the memorial in the undercroft you can find a museum. I believe they wanna expand it to be much bigger. So we went through and you can find there information about how was the memorial built, different types of exhibitions. The next we are heading to the Martin Luther King Memorial, and on the way you can see so many memorials, war memorials and stuff like that, which you can see here. I don't know how many times would you actually need to see all the memorials in Washington, so I feel like it's the best to, choose the ones which, are important to you, you wanna see. So here we are. Out of the mountain of despair, a stone of hope. This memorial honors Martin Luther King's legacy and the struggle for freedom, equality and justice. A prominent leader in the modern civil rights movement, Dr. King was a tireless advocate for racial equality, working class and the oppressed around the world. Also, don't forget to read the all quotes on the walls around, and I saw also the memorial looks very pretty in the night when the lights pop out. The next memorial which we are visiting is the Franklin Delano Roosevelt Memorial. Freedom of speech, freedom of worship, freedom from want, freedom from fear. These words by President Franklin Roosevelt ushered the United States into World War II and defined what is to be an American. Stop by this memorial and begin to understand the Roosevelt legacy. Roosevelt was 32nd President of the United States, and the memorial honors his memory as one of the Americans' great leaders and the optimism and courage that he shared with his fellow citizens through the ordeals of the Great Depression and World War II. The next place we are visiting is my favorite, and you can see it already behind the lake. It is the Thomas Jefferson Memorial. This is the presidential memorial built in between 1939 and 1943 in honor of Thomas Jefferson, the principal author of the United States Declaration of Independence, a central intellectual force behind the American Revolution, founder of the Democratic Republican Party, and the nation's third president. The memorial features multiple quotes from Jefferson intended to capture his ideology and philosophy known as Jeffersonian democracy, which was supportive of American republicanism, individual rights, religious freedom, state rights, and prioritized and valued what he saw as the eventual independent human. Next stop is a lunch break. There wasn't much on the way where we were actually, so we found this place. It should be some chain, sandwich place. I was craving literally some veggie. So yeah, I got some salad, we got some sandwich. Here you can see, for example, the art gallery of Asian art, which must be also interesting. We just walked by, as well as we walked by the Smithsonian Castle, which is institution building. It was completed in 1855. The castle is a signature building. The castle actually closed in February 2023 for its first major renovation in more than 50 years. In front of the castle you can see the statue of Professor Joseph Henry, and right across the castle is the Smithsonian National Museum of Natural History. The mission of the museum is to promote understanding of the nature world and our place in it. The museum's collection tells the history of the planet and are a record of human interaction with the environment and one another. The museum has a free admission and it's open 364 days a year. In 2022, with 3.9 million visitors, it was the most visited museum in the United States. Opened in 1910, the Museum of the National Mall was one of the first Smithsonian buildings constructed exclusively to hold the national collections and research facilities. The main building has an overall area of 1.5 million square feet, which is 140,000 square meters, with 355,000 square feet, which is 30,200 square meters of exhibition and public space, and houses over 1,000 employees. The museum's collection contains over 146 million specimens of plants, animals, fossils, minerals, rocks, meteorites, human remains, and human culture artifacts, the largest natural history collection in the world. It is also home to about 185 professional natural history scientists, the largest group of the scientists dedicated to the study of nature and culture history in the world. Pavilion Cafe was a pretty cool place to stop by, grab a coffee, have a lunch like a salad. They have also cakes, and there is a sculpture garden which is pretty cool to walk through. And finally, our next stop is the famous United States Capitol, often called the Capitol or the Capitol Building. It is the seat of the United States Congress, the legislative branch of the federal government. It is located on the Capitol Hill at the eastern end of the National Mall. The central section of the present building were completed in 1800. These were partly destroyed in the 1814 burning of Washington, then were fully restored within 5 years. The building was enlarged in the 1850s by expanding the wings for the chambers. The massive dome was completed around 1866, just after the American Civil War. For dinner we went to an American restaurant, we had burgers, we shared chicken wings, we watched American football, and the next day we had 2 more stops to see, and this is the Titanic Memorial. And after that we headed to a George Washington Masonic National Memorial. It is Masonic building and memorial located in Alexandria, Virginia, just outside of Washington, D.C. It is dedicated to the memory of George Washington, the first president of the United States and a Mason. The tower is fashioned after the ancient lighthouse of Rome. The 333-foot or 101-meter tall memorial sits atop Shooter's Hill. The construction began in 1922, the building was dedicated in 1932, and the interior finally completed in 1970. In July 2015, it was designated as a National Historical Landmark for its architecture and as one of the largest-scale private memorials to honor Washington. The last place in this travel vlog I want to show you is the Basilica of the National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception. It is the large minor Catholic basilica and national shrine in the United States. The shrine is the largest Catholic church building in North America and one of the largest in the world. The basilica is also the tallest habitable building in Washington, D.C. Its construction of Byzantine Revival and Romanesque Revival architecture began in September 1920 and was completed in December 2017. Although the basilica is situated within the geographical boundaries of the Archdiocese of Washington, the basilica is not a parish of the Archdiocese, does not have its own parish community, and the shrine's administration does not fall under the direct authority of the Archbishop, but it serves adjacent Catholic University, which donated the land for its construction, and the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops. Okay guys, I think I will close up this travel vlog from Washington DC right here. We had such an amazing time, we are exhausted, we did lots of walking. So I feel like we didn't actually had enough time to see everything, so we just walked around, but we didn't get to go inside the buildings, which is pretty shame. So I would recommend, like, if you want to really see everything also from the inside, like to stay like for 3 days at least. Washington DC is a really nice city, I feel like, especially after us coming from Philadelphia, because we didn't like the city, so you can really see the difference. The city is new, the reconstructions are going on. We were staying at the Chinatown, as I mentioned maybe before, in the Moto Hotel by Hilton, and we had an okay experience here. The rooms are small but clean. Yeah, the location was perfect. We could really walk through the streets, and it's true that the neighborhood is maybe a little sketchy, but we didn't have any problem. There is always lots of tourists on the streets. We also parked our car in the garage just like across the street, which was $25 per day, so it was also convenient. We are heading actually to Miami. We are driving to Baltimore, leaving the car there and catching the flight to Miami and then back, and then we are driving back to New York City. So I will drop the links from the other travel vlogs from New York City, from Philadelphia and Miami below when they are out, so don't forget to check them out. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.